belt buckles, there are reports of archaeologists finding evidence of belts and buckles dating back to the 6th and 7th centuries in Britain. Decorative belt buckles appear to have been worn for the first time as symbols of status in the 1500s throughout regional Spain. Today, hand-engraved belt buckles are prized not only as fashion accessories, but as inspired examples of workmanship and art. The buckle maker welds small stainless steel rods together to form the back of the buckle. After placing them in a welding fixture, he precision welds them. Using another fixture, the buckle maker adds a center pin to the back of the buckle. After precision welding it into place, he melts the tip of the stainless steel pin into a smooth ball. This locating pin centers the belt in the buckle. The buckle maker uses a jeweler's saw to cut the shape of the buckle from heavy gauge solid sterling silver. He stamps the company logo into the back of the buckle. Using pure silver, he solders the welded rods onto the back of the buckle, along with a stainless steel keeper tongue. He uses a jeweler's saw to cut out initials, using the font, material, and size selected by the customer. The buckle maker uses a soldering gun to apply solder to the back of the letters, which are made of gold fill, a thin layer of gold on top of brass. He carefully positions the initials on the sterling silver buckle, which has been covered with flux for the soldering phase to come. Too much solder on the back of the letters, and it could flow out onto the buckle surface. Heating the belt buckle causes the solder on the back of the letters to attach firmly to the sterling silver surface. The attachment process happens very quickly. With a polishing compound and cloth polishing wheel, he gives the buckle a brilliant shine. The buckle maker hand engraves the buckle using assorted engraving tools. He uses a shading tool to add depth to lines. He follows guidelines drawn in felt pen. The pattern engraved is chosen by the customer. The belt maker rolls out a piece of tanned strap leather. Using a gauge knife, he cuts the width of leather needed to make the belt chosen by the customer. The belt maker uses a variety of tools to cut and shape the leather. He cuts the tip of the belt. He places the leather in room temperature water for about 5 minutes. When bubbles stop rising, the leather is saturated. After the leather has dried, he transfers a pattern from the design strip to the leather. Stamping tools allow him to stamp intricate designs. Using a swivel knife, he cuts to a depth of between 1/4 to 1/3 of the way through the leather. The initial pattern has been carved. With a beveler, he deepens and shapes the carved lines. He chooses a bar backgrounder to create relief in the background. With a swivel knife, he makes the final decorative cuts. The belt maker applies dye to the background section of the carved leather, completing the most intricate part of his work. He stamps in the maker's mark. Using a piece of sheepskin, he applies an oil finish to the belt. A thin paste highlights the cuts and gives the belt an antique finish. A final tan coat waterproofs the belt and helps protect it. He makes holes in the belt. The belt has a bend in it where the buckle will be attached. With Chicago screws, he attaches the buckle firmly to the belt. Ideally, the belt and buckle complement each other. Strong and stylish, meticulously handcrafted belt buckles and belts have managed to make a clear fashion statement out of belt tightening.